After a week of deadly crashes, the South Dakota Public Safety is reminding people to click it. Plus,
Thursday night football ends in controversy. We spoke with an attorney to see if there are legal ramifications possible on the way. And the details are first on Fox tonight. Thursday night's NFL game was basically over. Steelers down 21-7. 14 seconds left in the game, facing a 3rd and 29. Then chaos ensues as Browns defensive end Myles Garrett wraps up Steelers quarterback Mason Rudolph, rips off his helmet, and then hits Rudolph over the head with it, igniting a massive brawl. Good evening, I'm Steve Long.
And I'm Joey Lin. The NFL has already suspended Garrett for at least the rest of the regular season and postseason, the longest ban for a single on-field infraction in NFL history. But is this where it ends? Our Enderly Penwell looks at whether legal consequences could be next in the discipline playbook. Last week, the South Dakota Department of Public Safety reported 9 fatal crashes in a 2-week period. 7 of those were not wearing a seatbelt. The South Dakota Highway Patrol wants to remind us slow down on icy roads and in snow. Sergeant Shan Barrick said wearing a seatbelt can increase the chance of surviving a crash by 45%. He also said wear your seatbelt properly. Seatbelts should be worn across the chest and shoulder, not tucked behind.
That was another gorgeous day, warm air, sunshine, delightful to be outside.
Yeah, so can we expect something over this weekend? Let's go to meteorologist David Stradling for the latest.
The air is not going to be as warm, but it's still going to be staying mild. We'll have high temperatures near or in the 50s.
Still ahead tonight on Black Hills Fox News at 9, we introduce you to a man and his dog. They're traveling the country together.
And they're stopping right here in South Dakota. That's still ahead right here on Black Hills Fox News at 9. News from around the region now. Investigators are searching for an answer for a 9-month-old baby dies after staying at an overpopulated daycare in Sioux Falls. Police spokesperson Sam Clemens said emergency responders arrived at the home yesterday afternoon and found the baby unresponsive. The baby was taken to a hospital but was pronounced dead. Clemens said it's too early to say whether the child's death was suspicious, but added the daycare took in more children than what it is legally allowed. Clemens said the daycare had nearly twice the number of children under the age of 1, including the baby who died. The family care provider also had 2 2-year-olds and a 4-year-old under their watch, along with 6 children of their own. And a search continues for a boy missing in central Wyoming. Authorities say they've now covered almost 230 square miles in their search for 16-year-old Joseph Joey Peterson. Peterson walked away from his family's home in southeastern Natrona County on Sunday. Sheriff's officials began looking for him soon after. Searchers are using helicopters, drones, dogs, night vision, and heat sensing technology. They plan to keep looking as much as possible before the weather worsens. Peterson has high-functioning autism and is not self-sufficient. He was wearing a red hooded sweatshirt and pajama pants. The impeachment hearings are heating up, with the former ambassador to Ukraine taking questions from legislators. We'll hear from her directly.
We'll hear about her testimony.
Plus, 2 children are dead in California, the tragic victims of another shooting. The full story after the break. 2 innocent children are dead as the reality is settling in for the people of Santa Clarita today.
Britt Conway has the latest.
Now to another concern across the country. This year's flu season is getting an early start. That's according to experts at the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. They say 30 states are already recording flu activity. And for this time of the year, that's the highest number they've ever seen in decades. In fact, in California, Louisiana, and Maryland, cases of flu are already widespread. 7 other states are seeing regional cases of the virus. Health officials say it's more important than ever to get your flu shot now, and so far the vaccine appears to be a good match to fight the active strains making people sick. A Minnesota hospital partners up with a clothing company to become the first medical system in the nation to offer hijabs for its patients and staff members. Let's take a closer look from St. Paul. And we head back to Sturgis for a more in-depth look at what they're doing to get kids ready for life after high school. We have a few more business headlines we're watching. A judge is reducing the amount of pharmaceutical giant has to pay for its role in the opioid crisis. Friday, an Oklahoma judge ordered Johnson & Johnson to pay $465 million for its contribution to the opioid crisis. That's $107 million less than the original order. The judge said he made a mathematical error when calculating the judgment. Lawyers of Johnson & Johnson asked him to reduce the award money even further. They argued previous settlements with the state should be deducted. The judge rejected their request, saying Johnson & Johnson was not entitled to such credits. And bad news for Boeing and more shuffling for the airlines right now because Boeing's 737 MAXs are still grounded. United, Southwest, and American have removed the plane from their schedules until March. That will make 1 year since the planes were grounded after 346 people were killed in 2 crashes in 5 months. Boeing says it's still aiming for FAA certification for its proposed software fixed by the end of this year. In the meantime, between all 3 airlines, this latest MAX-related schedule change will add up to more than 1,700 advanced flight cancellations. And as Eric Hansen found out, the one holding the reins is a rodeo clown. You just can't make this stuff up. Coming up after the break, the Black Hills State and South Dakota Mines volleyball teams met for the 2nd time this season.
Today in entertainment news, a little bit of movies, a lot of music.
Here's David Daniel with the Hollywood Minute.
Hello. Call me Sage. Good name. I'm made out of sage and I am a sage, so it works out pretty well.
It's official, Keanu Reeves is everywhere, even in the new trailer for the SpongeBob movie, Sponge on the Run. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
So we can either talk about Kiss or SpongeBob SquarePants. Where do we go?
SpongeBob.
SpongeBob?
I like SpongeBob.
Yeah, I like that. He lives in a pineapple under the sea, right? SpongeBob SquarePants?
Yeah, and then Keanu Reeves, who doesn't like him?
Yeah, I know, especially when he rolls up in that, what do you call that? Sage.
Tumbleweed?
Tumbleweed, yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. Have a good weekend, everybody. Stay safe, and we'll see you on Monday.